This episode is brought to you by All Pro Championship Wrestling Academy. If you're looking to become a professional wrestler, then learn the ropes from WWE Hall of Famer, owner, and head trainer Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express. APCW is a full-service academy and promotion with adult and youth programs available. Not only will you learn proper in-ring work and psychology from an 8-time tag team champion, but as a student, you'll get the opportunity to apply what you've learned in front of live crowds at the APCW shows. APCW is located at 7575 Owl Creek Drive, Douglasville, Georgia, just 25 minutes outside of Atlanta. For more information, call 478-257-8442 or email at apcwdouglasville@gmail.com. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, another edition of the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. This week, this episode is brought to you, as you heard at the top of the program, by APCW, All Pro Championship Wrestling, located in Douglasville, Georgia. And they are going to provide a match here for you with Brooklyn Creed, the Queen Heathen, if you will. This is the first opportunity that we've had to have Miss Creed on our program, and or at least in singles competition. We saw her actually in the last program with the Battle Royal. Here it is singles competition. As we all know, singles competition is a whole different ball of wax. And it's going to be interesting to see how she performs, how well she can do it. You can see a lot of confidence and disdain on her face that she's entered the ring. Almost as she's probably too good for the audience, but we won't read too far into that. And as you might have heard the ring announcer Mark Grayson, that was about to go into how much she weighed. But apparently Brooklyn is not very fond of releasing her weight to the general public, or maybe she just feels like it's none of their business. Either way, Mr. Grayson has probably learned the lesson of going into that. You see some people out there trying to talk to her at ringside. That doesn't seem to be going over very well. And here comes her opponent for the evening, an APCW trainee. Maybe one of the, she's been released into the world now from being under the tutelage of Mr. Robert Gibson. Harlow O'Hara. She has been working very hard to establish a name for herself on the wrestling circuit. Harlow was trained by legendary Hall of Famer Robert Gibson. Now we are going to see what she can do in singles action. We have seen her before in a couple of tag team matches, intergender matches. We saw her in the Battle Royal. The same Battle Royal, in fact, that we witnessed and saw Brooklyn Creed in. If you did not get the opportunity to watch that particular video, go to our archive so you can watch that. Next is Harlow O'Hara. And as stated before, if you have not gotten the opportunity to see Brooklyn and Harlow O'Hara perform previously in the Battle Royal on our program or in our archives, be sure to go back and check it. Always available on our YouTube channel. The bell has rung, the match is underway. Harlow clearly the favorite. Brooklyn, I don't think, is concerned or cares whether the audience is on her side or not. Here we go. Brooklyn is stepping away from the lockup. It has begun with mind games. She's waving her off. Now we're looking for the tie-up. Brooklyn chooses against it. Perhaps this is Brooklyn's way of determining the early advantage, psychologically speaking. But eventually she's going to have to do the lockup. The match will have to proceed. She will not win it on brain power alone. And there she is. She goes underneath the collar elbow pad with the rear waist lock. Taking the advantage. And there, right, was a great example of what you train for. That is a perfect example of what wrestling is about. Harlow able to shift and redirect the leverages. Send Brooklyn down, kicking the guts. That side headlock applied. Harlow's in control. I don't think Brooklyn was prepared necessarily for the expertise that Harlow's doing. A quick roll up, the referee's in position, but Creed is able to roll herself out. Too much momentum with that roll. It was a great maneuver. But Brooklyn was able to get herself out of it. But we can see frustration there. She kicks the bottom rope. Now she's looking a little bit upset. She's going to have to reassess her game plan. Harlow's feeling confident. She's got the entire building behind her. And of course, that's going to help her out a lot. Or at least in her mind, and psychologically speaking, it's going to help her out a lot. And it may just get into the mind of this Creed over there. The question is, will that actually occur? Time will tell. Harlow's calling for a test of strength. Some might call it Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Now they have gone into it. Time to begin. There it is, the strength. Brooklyn able to turn the knuckles underneath and gain advantage. Quick breakout by Harlow. She broke the grip with her feet. Great series of moves to put her down right over to a fireman's carry, but of course, good grab of the hair will help you out there too, as Brooklyn tried to do. Referee caught her. And back up to a vertical base twist. Armbar into the wrist lock. Brooklyn expertly breaks the grip with her elbow. Got it into a wrist lock of her own. Now to the side headlock. She's going to look to try to control Harlow's body. Harlow sends off to the ropes. Stands her ground. Brooklyn seems a little concerned there. And she came in full force, was unable to put Harlow down. You see, we can hear, I should say, the fans calling for it now. Now, I don't know about this. Brooklyn's calling for another test of strength. They tied up again. If I were a betting man, I would say, okay. I was going to say if I were a betting man, I would say I think Harlow's stronger too, but Brooklyn just kind of suckered her into that maneuver. Give her kicking the guts to put it down. It is about getting her advantage, and she has done that. We can see the camera pull in close. You can see that the hair being inadvertently pulled as Brooklyn steps on the hair of Harlow and yanks her up by the wrist. Not going to win the match like this, but it is going to cause a bad day for Harlow. Brooklyn counting along with the referee, kicking the belly. Brooklyn's going to be a little bit too smart to get herself disqualified. As you saw, she was just counting along. She knows that she's got to count to 5. She's going to try it again. Head scissors, or a modified head scissors by Harlow. But Brooklyn right back into a forearm shot. Caught her right there at the base of the jaw. She's trying to, man, she's not going to give up this advantage very easily. She's calling for the turnbuckle. Face first, right into the top turnbuckle. Now literally wrapping the hair around the top rope. Counting along with the referee, lets it go at the 4 count. I said it before, I'll say it again. Brooklyn's too smart to allow herself to get disqualified at this point, or at any point for that matter. She's walking her out, holding her by the hair and the jaw. You can barely, vaguely see there was fingers right there, almost like she fished her. And she took her into the turnbuckle. Now showing off her opponent in the worst possible way to the fans in the front row. That's the count of the time. 5 minutes gone, 25 minutes remain. Brooklyn takes over to the next side of the ring, and now using the ropes to illustrate the advantage. None of this she is going to be able to win with, but it will cause a great deal of pain to her opponent. Harlow trying to recover in the corner. Brooklyn with a blatant choke. She breaks at the 4. As stated earlier, not just chuck with the foot. Harlow shows her off. Brooklyn rolls through, comes back in with a forearm shot. She was prepared for it and twists over neck. Beautiful. A brilliant neck breaker by Brooklyn Creed and a 2 count. Harlow's out of the 2. Harlow, from what I understand, was able to go to the WWE 2017 Hall of Fame induction. And Robinson Rick Rude was part of that class. And I think he would be proud of that neck breaker that Brooklyn laid down there. Maybe a heated heartbreaker. I don't know. Oh, big chop by Brooklyn. She's enjoying it and she's proud of her work. But she took her out the ball, rolled through by Harlow. She's going for the Harlock. Brooklyn scatters out. She hasn't scouted. She knew what was coming and got away. You can see she's telling the fans, not so fast. That's not happening. No. They're chanting and they're clapping for Harlow, but Brooklyn is very aware of what she's doing. Giving a big thumbs down. Harlow getting kind of agitated and excited, ready to get her back into the ring and get this thing back underway. These are the portions where sometimes people will make a mistake because they get a little bit too amped up. They get a little bit too excited. Brooklyn, on the other hand, is outside trying to calm this thing down. Time will tell whose strategy is going to work. You can see the frustration. Harlow's almost fuming in there. Oh, she's got him out of hair. She's got him out of hair, and she pulls Brooklyn up. She's going to walk her back into the ring. Forearm shot into the abdominals, and a big chop. That might have woke Harlow up. Forearm shot, clothesline by Harlow. The second one, big impact. Brooklyn is in bad shape right now. Kick in the abdomen, hooks her in. Vertical suplex, takes her over, going for the cover. 1, 2. Barely does Brooklyn Creed get the shoulder up and break that count. I think her plan was to try to frustrate Harlow, but it may have backfired there. Harlow's getting the crowd worked up. She's going to charge in. And she just charged in and missed. And I think she caught her head. She's staggering out of the corner. Brooklyn is like an animal there. She's catching her prey in a nice kick. Took the feet out from underneath it. I thought she was going to try to hit the ropes, but she just went for the Harlock quickly. No roll through this time. She went right for the setup. Will Brooklyn tap out? She's got hooked in and got hooked in tight. She was unable to fight it. A tap out by Brooklyn Creed to the Harlock. I guess that just goes to show that it doesn't require the full setup. She can get it in there and stretch those vertebrae out. And you would have to think that not only is the back and the vertebrae and the neck being torqued, but the way the mouth, the hands are positioned over the mouth, you would have to think that the breathing would be hard there too. And there it is. Harlow has won what could be one of her first major singles bouts here. And I'm sure she's very proud of that. And it's literally a tale of two worlds. You saw earlier Brooklyn roll out, the frustration on her face, the being upset. Harlow, on the other hand, is just loving it. This match, of course, brought to APCW. They were the sponsors of this match, providers of this match. If you want to learn wrestling, find them on Facebook, APCW, All Pro Championship Wrestling on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Brooklyn Creed, since day one, you have proven to me that you are a worthy competitor, and I give you that. You're tough as hell. You live up to your name. You are a heathen. But the one thing that takes control over you is your cockiness. And that's what happened today. And that's what happened back in February. You walked into APCW thinking you could take over immediately. But you forgot that APCW is Harlow's house. And I came, I saw, and I made you tap. And it's going to happen again. So watch out.
Harlow, you've made me tap out not once but twice now. And both times, I wasn't tapping. The ref called for the bell. It wasn't a tap. I was reaching for the ropes. You didn't beat me. Heathens don't lose. We rule. We take over. And I promise you, the next time we step in the ring together, Brooklyn Creed will get the 1, 2, 3. There'll be no tapping out, because I will defeat you, because I am a heathen, and I will take over APCW.